Are you noticing a lot of low frequency people sort of coming into your life? Like you go out with friends maybe and you're sitting at a table and they bring along their friend who's just got low vibe. And you're like, I'm not about this energy. I've shifted out of this. Why is this coming back? If you're asking these questions and want to learn how to protect your energy from these types of people, this video is for you. So I'm going to take you through these 5 steps. It is a step-by-step process, and you're going to want to stick around for the internal shift because it's how to actually stop getting these people into your space and stop having them impact your energy. What's up, you guys? My name is Mitch, and I help make spirituality practical so that you can apply it to manifest your dreams. So starting out with the first part is, what does it mean when a low frequency person comes into your space or a low vibrational person comes into the mix? And you're kind of like, well, what does it mean? This is the most important part. So in this spiritual reality that we actually exist in, the third dimensional realm that we live on, this earth, is just a mirror. It's just a reflection. So the first thing you've got to know is that you are safe, no matter what. Even if you're unalive, you're still safe here. Your true self is protected. This temporary body is guaranteed to leave the earth. We don't know when, and we don't know why at times, but spiritually speaking, you're always safe. So it's the first part to recognize. It can never be a sign of something that you have to fear. If someone of low frequency comes into your space, you don't have to fear. That's the first thing you got to know. So what does it mean? It can mean one of 2 things, and that's going to jump into this part. So it's really cool that it's step by step. What it means is there's a lesson to learn to let go of ego, or it's a gift. That's anything that we get in this earth. It's a manifestation, right? So if we're manifesting something we don't like a low vibrational person, and it's impacting how we feel, then that is the gift in and of itself because it's a lesson. And then we go through this process, we make a shift, and what happens is we recalibrate our manifestation to bring about something that is a true reflection of what we ultimately are. So basically, anytime a low vibrational thing happens to you, whether it's a person, a situation, bad luck, any of those things is always a lesson to shift into what is a reflection of you. It's the ego coming back, and that's why we call it shadow work. So if you guys are interested in learning how to do shadow work, how to get rid of the ego that comes up where you are not aware, leave this video a like, and I'll make one specifically on how to do shadow work so that you can move into the higher vibration that you want to sustain. So we need to distinguish, first of all, what does it mean? And that means we got to be aware. So what we do is we look at the situation, someone's there impacting our energy. Now here is something that really helped me, and it helped me shift into this understanding, which was kind of like when I started manifesting people I didn't want around me, or situations I didn't want around me. And I personally noticed it was whenever I was drinking. So whenever I was out and I was like there for a good time and drinking, I started to notice the people I didn't enjoy their company would arrive at the bar, or whatever the situation was. There's certain amplifiers, and the message there for me was, don't drink. Now, I didn't listen to the universe, and the low frequency kept knocking, and this was after my awakening. So please, if you're after your awakening, this still applies. And the universe was knocking at the door saying, you need to make a change, stop drinking, you need to make a change. And it kind of got worse and worse and worse until the point where I woke up in hospital, and I had broken my hand from hitting the walls. Like it really got to me so badly, the impact. And then once I woke up in hospital, I was like, that's it, I don't drink anymore. And I stopped drinking for like a year and a half. Now, the reason I tell you the story is to help you kind of navigate realizing what the low frequency is doing. Firstly, everything is in service of you. Even the low frequency, it's helping you upgrade. So when I kind of realized I can't drink anymore, that is when my music career took a completely different turn, and I ended up going to LA to pursue my musical career and everything else that entailed. So we have to understand what it means, and what it is, and what it means is you need to make a shift. That's ultimately what the low frequency is telling you. If you don't accept it, it's going to impact your energy. That is where you will not protect your high vibration. So what do we do with that information? Once we realize this is a lesson, we accept it as a gift. And that acceptance is to go, okay, there is something I need to change. It's very difficult when ego starts to heighten up after the awakening, or even before, to see where it's at. So you must understand that the ego will take on the identity as the awakened person. It will take on that identity and wear it like it's its own. And that's the thing we have to sort of prevent. That's the thing we have to not let get to us, is when our ego goes, that's me too. But we need to know the difference. And that takes awareness. So when things happen that affect the identity, so say now it is like my situation with drinking, and you go out drinking and something bad happens, the low frequency comes in, then you know there's a shift in self. If you feel offended, that's where you have to accept. If you're feeling a situation and you're like, this doesn't resonate with me and I'm not wrong, that's the place you got to be like, okay, cool, let me take a look there. I'm not saying you are wrong, but it's somewhere to take a look. What about this can I change to better my circumstance? And that's ultimately how you accept the gift. Thank you for this reflection. What about me is it showing? Because it's all a reflection. Then you got to thank it. The energy of gratitude is probably the best gift we have in terms of how to manifest with accuracy. Like when you're trying to manifest something specifically, gratitude is the magic juju of manifestation. So once this whole lesson has happened, you will feel a relief. Like you'll actually feel like, oh, okay, I feel better now that I have this realization. It's at that point you say, well, thank you for bringing that into my space to change it before it gets worse. So my first signs were my girlfriend and I would fight every time I drank. And it would lessen the goodness in the experience of my relationship. It would impact my relationship. It would make it hard. That was my first sign. And then it impacted my relationship with my family. And then it started to impact my relationship with friends. So it continuously got more and more. More people were pulled into this low frequency. And it wasn't necessarily because of them. It was because of me. It was because I was doing something to invite that energy in. So it's the best thing to do to accept and say, okay, let me see where I can change. And then thank you for that lesson. Thank you for not letting it get to the point where I lost a limb to learn this universal or spiritual lesson. So it's a big thing. Gratitude basically tells the universe that you're in the state of, I'm thankful for things. I'm thankful for people. I'm thankful for where I am in my life. If we look at the glass half full metaphor, right? I feel like I'm using so many inverted commas now, but I'm just trying to not make it too literal. So if we take a look at when we have these sort of setups, right? So we're in a situation where things are happening that we want to start manifesting something different, and we want to get into the energy of going, no, but I want this car, I want this partner, I want whatever it is that you want. When you get into the energy of I want these things, that's where the shift actually happens. And the way that you do that is by going into gratitude. It's the glass half full. So if you go, there's so much to be thankful for, not so much I want. If you get into that thankful energy, you're going into the receiving end vibrationally, and then the universe goes, oh, you're thankful for the things, people, and places you have. Let's give you more. And that's how you start to manifest the abundance. So being abundant in gratitude is a manifestation hack. And if you want to learn how to turbocharge your manifestations, you can actually take a look at this video I made up here, where I show you how to make your manifestation stronger and more fast acting. Next, we get into release it. So part of this shift of this low frequency, once we've allowed it in to do its job, we've accepted that gift, we've thanked it, we now let it go. So when we see that someone is like a bad vibe, I'm going to give you an example of someone. Like if you're sitting having a good meal and someone is there and their energy just wigs you out, and you've gone through this process, maybe it was that you're judgmental, that maybe that came up, like you're like, oh, I judged too harshly. Once that happens, you can release the identity. I stopped myself. You can release the identity that you're associating with those types of people. And once you release that identity of like, oh, this kind of a person is this way, and once you stop that identity, then even if they come into your life, it won't affect your energy. Because you've released that idea. The idea is all that's there. Remember I said right at the beginning of this video, you're always safe. Spiritually, you're taken care of. Nothing can happen to the real you. This flesh and bones will go. And that's a guarantee. So don't worry about its longevity. Don't be fearful. So you're always safe. So when you get to that and they come back in, you can release it because it no longer associates. And what you'll find is that the next part of the reflection will be in those types of people because you've upgraded, you've learned the lesson. So you might really love their company for a new reason and dislike something else. That is the place to look again at the next lesson. Then coming into the internal shift, the magic juju, the important part of staying in your high vibration and protecting your own energy. The internal shift is what we do with the power of emotion. Now, a lot of us see the world this way. We see it as we have to have certain things so that we can do the things we want to do, and then we can be the person we want to be. So here's a good example. If only I had $1 million, I could do what I wanted to do, and then I could be the free person I want to be. But we can shift that on its head, and we can actually turn it around. And this is the internal shift for power, is where you say, I no longer am going to be stuck to this identity of I need something to be something, ultimately. You go, I'm going to be it right now with what I've got. And let me give you a good enough reason to do this. You've already achieved things you said would make you fulfilled. You already have things you said would make you happy. Why did you click this video? Because it resonates. Because those things aren't going to fulfill you. So I promise you, even if you had the $1 million, there would still be a problem. And this is why you see those lotto winners, those people who win the lottery, and they don't really shift. They sort of get into a state where you see they lose all their money because they still manifest that version of self, that scarcity mindset. So when we come into the internal shift, it's about what we do within ourselves, that we go, I'm going to choose to be the person I want to be with what I have. And that's where the energy of gratitude, thanking it, starts to upgrade you. With what I have, allows me to do what I need to do to be the person I want to be. So instead of it that way, we flip it. I'm going to be the person, and that allows me to do what the version of me I want does, and then I can have the things that version of me has. So it's about taking control, the internal shift of your emotions, taking control of how you feel. And I'll give you a great way to do it right now. So this is getting intense, but this is really going to help you. So I want you to imagine having the car of your dreams, the partner of your dreams, and where you want to live with the number on your bank account that would be the best version of life, right? So the car of your dreams, partner of your dreams, house of your dreams, wherever in the world that is, and the number in your bank account. Those 4 things. Just put your head in that space for a second. How does it feel to have had those things? How would it feel if you had those things? And ask yourself for a second, how would I feel? You will get an answer, not in words. It won't be a thought. The answer will be in feeling. Oh, this is how it would feel. That was your imagination choosing how you felt for you. So you're not limited by what you have to feel the way you want to feel. So shift that in your head. Go, okay, I'm going to choose to feel that now, because why not? Why not feel that way in this moment? I'd love to hear. Let me know in the comments. Why not feel that way? And I'll respond to everybody who gives me a good reason. I'll respond to you one-on-one personally. That's how you make the internal shift, and that's how you protect your energy. I would love to hear your feedback, guys, and if you aren't already, please subscribe to this channel to be notified whenever I release any videos like this. Mad love.